On the show with Justine, she was talking about making career decisions and she talked about having no regrets, which made sense in the context of the show. She's in the good place that she is now because of all that she experienced. But it got me thinking about regret as a concept. And I want to make the case today that we shouldn't be afraid of regret. Not only is it a valid feeling, of course, but it can really help us make decisions about how we think and feel about certain outcomes. It can promote reflection. It can help us make meaning of some experiences. And it can even help with healing. So when I hear someone say, I have no regrets in life, I take a beat because I don't want to assume anything, but I admit I do get my skeptical face on. But often I think it's just semantics. What someone is usually actually saying is that maybe they don't beat themselves up over regrets, or that they think life is too short for regret, or what's meant to happen happens. Because I think that most people who say they have no regrets can't realistically control the feeling of regret. So it's really not a possible statement. And I can guarantee that they've wished that they had or hadn't done something in life. That's being human. So feeling regret is inevitable. For that reason, I think it's helpful to reflect on how you respond to that feeling. For example, do you brush it aside and just keep on keeping on? Or do you overthink it and then you get stuck on it? I know for some people, regretting something harmful that you did can kind of poke your shame and defensiveness buttons. I've seen that, I've experienced that. But today, just give it a go in thinking about how you feel when you get a sense of regret and then how you respond to it. But I'm hoping that you can come to the conclusion that you don't need to fear it. I know that I've learned my greatest lessons from regretting things that I did that I'm not proud of. And I also pushed myself to do good or fun things because I know what it's like to feel regret for not taking a chance or opportunity. So, at least for me, I can say regret has been an important barometer and maybe even a catalyst for my growth. Now, I wanted to end there, but there's something else Justine said that is really calling me to highlight. And honestly, I don't know if I can say pretty words that are going to tie it to today's theme of regret. So I'm just going to point it out as its own thing. So when she talked about how her work environment had improved, but her attitude didn't, she said something to the effect of, even when things got better, I was stuck in the mentality that it wasn't, or that it was still bad, something like that. And this so beautifully captures a relationship dynamic that I just couldn't pass up the chance to mention. So, whenever we have challenges with another person and we decide to work on that relationship, certain things happen. Both people try to make some adjustments, they try new ways of engaging, but inevitably there's a window where it's hard to let go of your entrenched labels about the other person. Even when things get better, like Justine said, our brain might resist that change because it goes against the pattern we've established. I'll give just a simple example here. Say he's an inconsiderate person. But okay, you're in couples therapy and he starts to make a concerted effort to be more considerate, and you see proof of him being considerate over and over. But still, your brain says, no, 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 we've decided that he's inconsiderate, so we're going to stick with that. Oh, and heaven forbid, he slips one day and does something inconsiderate. Whew, your brain is having such a hardcore I told you so party. Yeah, it's like starting at square one, maybe. There's two pieces to what I'm saying, if I can, gain some clarity in my own brain right now. Number one, fight like hell to allow yourself to just stay open to the possibility that your partner is adjusting for the better. Instead of letting your brain run amok and look for proof otherwise around every corner, try to believe any evidence that it's possible and it's happening. And number two, if you're the person making that renewed or new effort, hang in there, man. We've talked in other deep dives about how trust gets built by consistency over time, right? So just keep at it. Even if the responses range from skepticism to criticism, I promise you that we are capable of redefining our relationships. Just know that our brains might fight us, because they like defined and predictable categories to help them make sense of the world. If you don't give your loved one a chance to change the narrative when they are truly trying to, you might sabotage the work that you two are doing. And you might regret being so rigid about what was at the expense of taking in what's becoming. See, I did fit regret in there. Maybe with a sledgehammer, but hey, we'll tie it with a bow. And sounds like we got two deep dives for the price of one today. So see what you can inspire in me if you come on our show. So just email us at the unrelatingpodcast at gmail.com or go on our socials and sign up to be a guest.